Hi, everyone. Welcome to our presentation on Health and Human Performance Preview Days. We were sorry we didn't get to meet with you in person at our preview days that were originally scheduled, but we're really excited to connect with you today on our virtual platform. And we hope you're excited too. I'd like to take a moment to introduce myself. My name's Lindsay Currie, and I'm one of two student services administrators in the School of Health and Human Performance. My job is working with prospective and current students to help them with their transition into our school, as well as to help them with their student success throughout their time in our programs. The vision in our school is for physical and mental wellness for all. As you can see, we have four main pillars. One, to enhance the scholarship of teaching and learning. Two, to amplify research. Three, foster partnerships, collaboration, and outreach. And four, to shape impact. There is more information on our vision, mission, and values statements on our website, www.dal.ca/HAHP. All of the links mentioned in the video presentation today will also be available in the PDF, a presentation, and a YouTube version that will be posted, so you will be able to access these links later. A few fast facts for you. Our school was founded in 1966, which sounds like a long time ago now, but we've since grown into 4 undergraduate programs and 3 grad programs with 781 students. We've graduated almost 5,000 alumni, and we have over $3 million in research funding for active grants in 2019. We have 26 dedicated faculty and staff who will be working with you throughout your time in the program, in the school. As mentioned, we have 4 main undergraduate programs, and just to give you a bit of background, our school falls under the Faculty of Health Professions at Dal, but we are sort of unique in the sense that our programs are a cross between a more clinical program as well as in between that and more general program at Dal. And so we're sort of what's called an applied health science program. And so you will see the Bachelor of Science designation attached to all of our programs. So a Bachelor of Science in Health Promotion, a Bachelor of Science in Therapeutic Recreation, Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Management combined degree in Recreation Management. That one is 5 years. Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology. So the other 3 programs are 4-year degree programs. What makes us unique, I would say, mainly is our focus on prevention, or what's called an upstream approach in health. And so really focused on keeping people out of the healthcare system to prevent them from entering that system, to prevent them from becoming ill or injured in the first place, which, as we know right now, is very important given the strain on our healthcare system. We do have very small programs, so you will get to know your fellow students and your profs, as well as our staff, very well. Our health promotion and therapeutic recreation programs accept between 40 and 60 students typically each year. Our kinesiology program takes in about 150 students in first year, and our recreation management program is our smallest, but mightiest at 25 approximate students every year. One of the great things I think for students about our programs is that we do have required internships or optional practicums built into all of our programs. And so you will find your whole final semester for therapeutic recreation, health promotion, and recreation management is really spent in the workforce. In kinesiology, you do have an option of a practicum at the end of your degree as well, which would be about a course worth of experience, or 30 plus hours in a workplace. So this is a really great segue into the work world, which really enables you to have some experience on your resume, as well as some valuable networks and contacts when you graduate. As mentioned, we do have one of our pillars as to create impact in our research, and so I will give you some examples of some ongoing research in our school that's really making a difference for individuals and in our communities. Another unique component of our programs, all health profession programs actually at Dalhousie, are the interprofessional learning opportunities. So as you're going through our program info, you will see something called IPHE, Interprofessional Health Education. And that's really a chance for you to connect with students from other health professions to work collaboratively in a patient-centered approach. And so to really learn that so that when you go into the healthcare system, and that's the expectation that's on you, that you will have that experience coming out of the degree. We also have some really awesome, exciting and meaningful career opportunities that result in our programs. And so we'll give you a few examples of those. And finally, we are excited that we do have some peer mentorship opportunities for students to really connect with some senior students in the program, to get some advice from another person who's been through what you're going through right now. And so we hope to send some additional information about that at a later date. Some examples of research, as mentioned, are things like physical activity and cancer research through our Access program. So really looking at exercise in terms of benefiting cancer survivors, recreation and mental health, as well as recreation and immigration research in partnership with ISANS and new Canadians coming to Nova Scotia, looking at physical literacy in the early years and risky play through the Play Project, and lots of other exciting things that you've probably seen in the media as of late. And more information on these opportunities, individual professor research websites, as well as other research can be found on our website, www.dal.ca/HAHP. Just a few examples of some of the exciting careers and areas that our alumni work in after they graduate are things like policy analyst for the federal government, addictions and prevention consultant in a hospital, recreation therapist in a long-term care facility, community recreation coordinators, certified exercise physiologists, and kinesiologists. These are just a few examples, and because we know that the sky is the limit, and we really want to get students thinking about their career paths early on, we do host a number of career events throughout your degree. So we have things like Connections, which is a kinesiology career event with alumni guest speakers. This term, we hosted a career networking evening for all programs, which was a chance to schmooze with alumni and really create some neat networking opportunities. And finally, we hosted a new interprofessional health education credit with a two-part hands-on resume and branding workshop IPE. So these are just some of the career events that we host every year. There are other career supports at Dalhousie, and we know, especially with the uncertainty in the workforce right now, that this is going to be super important to students. And so you can access information through our Bissett Student Success Center on career services. There is a career advisor, a career counselor. We do have something called a co-curricular record, where you can keep track of and get a validation, almost a transcript of the experiences that you are doing connected with DAL outside of the classroom. So these can be things like student leadership or volunteer work. And that's something you can present to your employer later on, or when you're doing a job search, have that almost alongside your degree or your parchment. A program to help with volunteer experience and accumulating that at various levels called DAL Connects. So there is a link there to that program, as well as various career events and workshops that are held throughout the year. These are just some of the examples, but really to help you further your career journey and job search skills. I know one of the things you're probably wondering about is, when I do come to DAL, what am I going to be studying? What is my first year going to look like? So I have included some slides on a first year at a glance for each program. And as you'll see, in kinesiology, we do have 4 courses right away in first year in kin, as well as some support coursework and things like anatomy, physiology, writing, science courses, as well as the interprofessional health education piece. Some sample classes later on in your kinesiology degree may include some of these. You will find that it does become more flexible later in the degree. First and second year are quite structured versus third, fourth year, typically a lot more room to really customize your degree. And there's also some really exciting special topic practicums and senior seminars. Health promotion students will have 3 health promotion courses in first year, as well as support coursework like English, physiology, sociology, and you do have a chance to pick an elective as well. Some of the courses you might encounter in the upper years include things like program planning, policy, mental health promotion, and strategies coursework. In therapeutic recreation, you do have a Foundations of Rec course, which is a really exciting opportunity to get to know fellow students, especially through our what's called Rec O orientation. And so you will get more information about that as well. And then again, some support coursework, but you do have some open elective choices in winter term. And upper level coursework for therapeutic rec students includes things like working with individuals with disabilities, educating folks about the importance of leisure, and then specialization courses that involve working with special populations at risk or disadvantaged populations. For recreation management, you do take that same Foundations of Rec course, but you can see that there are a lot of business-related courses built into the first year, as well as some other support coursework, so be prepared for that as well. Later on in that degree, however, you do branch off and really deal with some more specific recreation management coursework like leadership and group dynamics, financial management, marketing, entrepreneurship and special events, and really learn how to sort of run higher level operations for leisure and sports and other types of organizations. All of these program forms are available on our website. I have included links, but they can be found through searching our main webpage, www.dal.ca/HAHP, and then clicking on the little current student tab at the top, and then the link to undergraduate forms and policies. So the first year course selection guides are there, which are the ones that I showed here, and the program of study forms are actually the full outline of all the requirements by program for all the 4 or 5 years of the program. So those are really valuable to look through and research as well. You can, again, find more information on our website about all of our programs, or feel free to connect with an advisor. I mentioned we have 2 dedicated advisors in the school, myself or Heidi Tracy Bailey is my colleague, and we can be reached via email. That's probably the best way right now to reach us, and we're happy to answer any of your questions. Just a few tips, speaking of advising. We do know that some students will choose a program and may be unsure about that, and that's completely okay. 60% of students do change programs at some point in their career. That's across the board, and some students are very surprised at how easy that can be to do. So if you're not sure about your program, do make sure that you do some further research, and you can switch before coming this fall. Or, try it out for a year, and then if you're finding it's not a good fit, an advisor can help you make that transition plan. And speaking of transitions, we know that it can be very stressful coming from high school to university, or even if you're a mature learner coming back to studying, or a transfer student from another institution or program. We know that it can be overwhelming transitioning to a new program, especially given what's going on in the world right now. So we would really be happy to work with you around your needs and any concerns you have. So please do reach out. One of the things that you do have some control over is your workload. And so although the forms I showed today do present doing 5 courses per term, a lot of students will opt to do less than that. Some find 4 works better, some find 3 works better. 3 or more is considered full-time at Dal. And, even if you have an accessibility plan with accessibility, sometimes less than that can be full-time. And so, really think about how can I balance things the best for me right now. As well, just a mention that if you do need learning accommodations, you will want to access those through our Student Accessibility Services Center. And so please do attempt to contact them before your program starts, and so that all of that is in place when you need to start your program and classes. One of the biggest tips as well that we hear from current students and alumni is really just to get involved, and that's really what makes the experience a great one. And so you might want to give yourself a term to kind of adjust to everything, but then some ways to start thinking about getting involved at DAL are through the student union societies, as well as our student society in health and human performance. And so again, links to those are provided here, and on our website as well for the student association. Finally, just keep in mind that Dalhousie has so many student resources to help support you through your transition into DAL and throughout your time at DAL. So please do reach out if you're in doubt. I'm a great place, an advisor is a great place to inquire about where to go if you aren't sure. And so really just, be accessing those resources strategically. Just as a final slide, I wanted to show a side-by-side comparison of some highlights from each program so that if you are, wondering about fit for yourself in a particular program or what are the differences, this is kind of a great at a glance visual. And again, if you do have some specific questions, feel free to reach out to an advisor. Finally, we're really looking forward to meeting you in the fall, hopefully, and connecting with you via email or phone or other ways in the meantime. And so if you haven't already accepted your place in the program, please do so, follow those next steps, and we'll be in touch, I guess, very soon with some additional information for you. And just in closing, I'd like to say thanks so much for visiting our site and checking out our preview day presentation, and have a wonderful day.